takes us into meditative awareness. Extend this awareness to each other, inside to inside, directly. And then we extend to our ancestors, the mothers and the fathers, the mothers and the fathers. And extend to all the great teachers and yogis and gurus who we've met. Extend to them. Those people who embody awareness so completely that the invisible becomes visible. Extend to all the different traditions that we participate in, which are themselves fields of knowledge, information, and light. And they mix in our bodies and become universal people. this awareness now. You can experience how the chant has evoked this awareness, this spaciousness, this energy, this light. Both the Shaivistic and Dzogchen traditions, after we've learned a bit to be established in this awareness field, this state of awareness, and we can integrate our mind somewhat in it, then there's some emphasis on the capacity to invoke, to bring forth this awareness. It's as if we enter it, becoming it, and we gain the power, the Shakti of invocation, bringing forth the deeper dimensions of awareness. And how these traditions understand this is the archetypal dimension, the primordial energies, the primordial configurations, the vortexes, the elements, which actually manifest as us, and manifest both circumstances and as our mind, to have that capacity to invoke. We may see these deeper dimensions of our existence is really both powerful and useful. In the Vajrayana, as well as in Shaivism, there are various Dakini or Deva practices. And we'll be focusing on one this morning called Jetsam Troma, the Dark Mother. And it's called a practice that opens the door of direct perception. And these texts are really stories or mythic invocations that can bring us into the experience of the Dakini, or the Deva, or the goddess. Or saying in another way, the archetypal dimensions of the awareness field. Into the experience of the essential nature of awareness. So, the Dakini, this feminine gnosis, is direct perception, knowingness, gnosis, wisdom gnosis. And so these texts are not literal, but evocative in their symbolic power, and they can bring forth within us and inform within us what they signify, what they symbolize. And in these traditions, everything is method, and these invocations, which grow from shamanistic roots, are the expression of the singular field of transmission, bringing forth from within our experience of innate awareness with its wonderful and magical forces. And these texts bring forth the various dimensions of our experiential awareness, and which for the Vajrayana Buddhist or the Shaivite Hindu is ultimately cosmological and the anima mystic world, the anima, the psyche. And the psyche, which is not the mind, is essentially mystical in nature, non-dual in nature, and is essentially oneness. Or as Jung once said, you do not simply have a psyche, but you live in psyche. And the world is psyche, the anima mundi. For our purposes here, the true unconscious is actually primordial awareness herself, as this primordial consciousness is for so many people experientially unconscious, unknown. The unconsciousness as primordial awareness is real and is multidimensional. And this reality is manifested both as the symbolic dimension, which Dzogchen masters call Sambhogakaya dimension, which is luminous vortexual elements, and then is manifested as in the Manakaya dimension. That's the world of desire, this world of flesh, us. The symbolic is the medium of reality that brings forth the experiential awareness in its multidimensionality and its infinite horizons. And the symbolic arises out of what we may call the transitional space of awareness. The archetypal dimension is not consciously experienced if we're located in our mind alone. Then it becomes simply phantasmagoria. Or if we're located in body alone, the wordless body, the body without language or understanding, then nothing happens at all. When this is transitional awareness, this open awareness of awareness, then the dimension of awareness opens up to us its innermost essence. We'll now focus on this chant. It's more important to stay focused on your awareness and just hear the language in the background. And don't go into dictionary mind. It begins this way. Emoho means fantastic. In order to actualize the beloved Dakini Saraswati, she who brings forth the radiance of passionate joy, sublime joy, co-emergent joy, we invoke the bodhicitta to become what we are. Omahung bodhicitta masuka yana datua. Omahung invokes the three dimensions of awareness, the primordial realm of potentiality, pure potentiality, Dharmakaya, the realm of the archetypes manifesting, the elements becoming form, vortexes, and then that becoming Namanakaya, flesh, us. Bodhicitta, the great compassion, Masuka, the bliss that arises out of this. Masuka, the great bliss. Avijnana, direct perception. Dhatu, in every situation, in every circumstance. In that way, all circumstances are methods of self-liberation. Zahung Bamho, it means let's have this happen now. Hung Drung E Yam Kam Sum Kem Drum. From the letter E arises a triangular source of the phenomena. Having the nature of spaciousness, the top is wide open and its fine tip points downward. In the center of this triangle, within this sphere, S-P-H-E-R-E, is a palace having the nature of spontaneous presence. Perhaps that's happening now. The Dakini, Hung Ho. And this palace is complete in all its inner and outer characteristics. And there is the deity's seat, the place. And there, in this place, is the form of the only mother, the Troma, the dark mother, luminous darkness, shining forth, the feminine embodiment of intense compassion. She's the darkest blue, fierce and magnificent luminousness. Her crown chakra is a head adorned with the head of a grunting pig, squealing, indicating Ma Rigpa, the lack of knowledge, ignorance, stupidity. She has one face and two arms, and she's exquisitely fierce and powerful. This luminous energy, luminous, shining darkness. She's a warrior and manifests this uncanny laughter, both out loud and within you. Her two hands hold a knife for cutting through delusion and opening up all phenomena that we can experience the essence as light, as energy, as spaciousness. And she has a skull cup filled with blood, filled with the life force, filled with the vital essence, the life essence, substance, vitality, pulsation, aliveness. A trident rests in the crook of her arm, Shiva's ornament. And this text is, at this point, is referring to the central channel, the column of light, and also making its connection historically to the Shaivite tradition. She's in a dancing posture, one leg extended and the other bent, and she stands within this mass of raging fire, which is the universe itself, fire. And from the letters Hum Hum Harim Maharinisa, that's the Dakini mantra, appears the invocation of the retinue of the Dakinis, this invoking this dimension within ourselves and around us and through us. Ha is white as water. That's the water element. Ri, yellow, earth element. Ni, red, fire elements. Sa, green, air elements. The most subtle and the most intense, these are the elements of the self-arising awareness manifesting worlds within worlds. Vajraratna Padmakarma Vajra Bahari Hung Ho. That's a salutation to her. Hung Ho, from this invisible celestial land of Kachara, Matroma, the soul mother, the Dakini of the great compassion, is surrounded by the Dakinis. Kachara is the heavenly realm, Sambhogakaya dimension, Dakini realm. The Kachara mudra, the inner palate within her mouth, opens, and the door of the nectarian states flow. This is the womb of the Shakti. We invoke you. Please come to this place. Come. Remaining in the sun, the moon, and the lotus light, empower us, your devoted son and daughters. We embrace you with love and the devotion of oneness. And here, the understanding that it's the oneness with this dimension that actually is the power of invocation. Divine Dakini, in and through your creative compassion and purest love, transform my body, speech, and mind into Kadig. Kadig means the essential, the great purity of awareness, that pure openness, innocentia. By embracing you, I become you. You are awareness itself, stainless, space, unbound, luminous darkness. Om Vajravahari Tolikali Harinisa Zaza. Again invoking Dakini mantra. Namo Vajra Kumari, Namo Troti Kumari Hum. Kumari means him, the great compassion. From the letters Om Ahung within our heart center. From the letters Om Ahung within our heart center, light radiates. We can do that now. And touches the outer and inner circumstances. So this openness, this space is luminous. It is radiance. It is radiance. And the power of radiance creates everything and anything. And the power of radiance is also the power of self-liberation. We'll extend. I'm going to pause for a minute and go back to Yangtang Rinpoche, great Super Dzogchen master, who would say the absolute compassion is the capacity as humans to extend this inner light of awareness into the present of a person, into their past, and into their future from the place of timeless awareness. So as you and I locate ourselves in timeless awareness, the action that arises out of timeless awareness is the great compassion, this radiant light. These offerings, these manifestations, are the essences of the root energies of this elemental light. By combining these offering activities, in this way we, the practitioner, will easily experience the sublime and ordinary cities, these powers of extension of the light, of invoking this light in ourselves and in others. If you think this is only meant for people who are not ordinary, we're missing the point at this moment. The Dakini is using passionate melodies and the natural Dakini sign language and writing the secret language on those they love. And these offerings are made to the Dakinis. Sometimes people experience these letters being written on their bodies. This touch of the Dakini, or even the breath. Inside a skull cup is the brilliant, luminous quintessence of Amrita, this bliss, innate bliss, in a viscous form. And the Ratka, that's the blood in the skull cup, contains ripples and vortexes, swirling, moving, pulsing aliveness. And the precious sublime container holds this bodhicitta liquor, the drops of the Dharmakaya, liquid, light bodhicitta. Sacred substance. The Amrita portions have many flavors such as sour, bitter, and sweet. These unsurpassable essential substances are offered to the Great Mother, the Troma, the goddess of fierce and intense compassion. And they are offered to bring forth the white goddess, the body emanations of great bliss. And they're offered to bring forth the red goddess, the speech emanations of sound. And they're offered to bring forth the awareness field, the emanations of Sangwayeshe, secret, timeless awareness, wisdom. And they're offered to bring forth the yellow goddess of the qualities of accomplishment, completeness. And they're offered to the green goddess who completes compassionate activities. And they're offered to the ocean of emanations of the mother and sister Dakinis, this ocean of radiant light. We ask you to consider us and accepting these offerings with love and the great affection, and bestow the ultimate experience of the unsurpassable Sangwayeshe, timeless awareness, experiencing timeless awareness in time, and the gift of enjoying the companionship of the Dakinis. Then there's this Dakini shout, ka ka kahi kahi. It means they like it. The offering of Amrita, the secret mantra. Hung, the unsurpassable, supreme Amrita, these drops, is the substance that brings forth unbound bliss, Masuka. So I offer this to the host of Mother, the Divine Mother, and the Sister Dakinis. You can feel yourself offering that if you wish. Please accept this and bestow this empowerment and the cities of this action, the Shakti, the empowerment of this capacity of invocation. Om Ahung Swarapensa Amrita Karam Kahi. If you would like to perform hand offerings of Amrita, you should leave your eyes closed. If you want to, you can do that with your hand. Make the offerings by saying the names of the various Dakinis. You see them right now. Om Ahung. This is offered to the wisdom Dakini of the Dharmakaya, the Dakini of primordial potentiality. Om Ahung. And to the wisdom Dakini of the Sambhogakaya, that's the archetypal dimension. Om Ahung. And to the wisdom Dakini of the Manakaya, flesh, us, this world of desire. Om Ahung. To the only mother, the Troma, the goddess of great compassion. Om Ahung. To the four classes of the secret Dakinis. Om Ahung. The Vijayadhara, that's the awareness holder. Pamasambhava. Om Ahung. You can also place the root guru there for you. To Orjam Tesam Lingpa, that was the yogi who gave the transmission of this text. Om Ahung. To the Dakini Devadara. Om Ahung. To the Bodhisattvas. Om Ahung. To the compassionate root guru. Om Ahung. Whoever that is for you. To the guardians of the Dharma, to the guardians of these texts and empowerments. Om Ahung. To the ocean of beings, to the ocean of all the beings who are all worthy of offerings. To all the beings. Om Ahung. The essence of Amrita descending and arising within the inner heart essence. Om Ahung. Om Ahung. bestow upon us at this very moment the cities of this enlightened body, speech, and mind. Luminous body, luminous speech, luminous mind. And this Umkaya city, Wakta city, Dista city, Abeshaka hum. It's invoking initiation into this text. Then there's called the praise of the experience, like salutations to this experience. Omohung, from the sublime celestial land of Ogmen, the mother comes through the power of the great compassion. Black Troma, you're luminous and so magnificent, wearing the garments of the charnel ground. Charnel ground is the burial grounds, huh? And you raise this fire in your hand, dissolving the demonic. I embrace you. And here, this fire is the fire of compassion, huh? Compassion is actually fire. And it dissolves the demonic both within us and around us. Hung ho, a white dakini, whose light rays pacify. And these are some of the capacities you want, the capacity to pacify energy. And yellow dakini, whose laughter enriches everything. And red dakini, whose passion and radiance magnetizes, huh? And brings forth to us goodness. And green dakinis, who release the demonic. And the dakini, whose blaze is wondrously, again the fire element, and whose dances change so dramatically. Everything changes so dramatically, doesn't it? And whose loving and whose laughter enriches us. Vajraparari Shaho, Vajravahari Krotikali Maharanisa, Avesha Swara Hum Pet. The power of cutting through shit. Hunka, Hunka, you're the dark blue Kali, unchanging and magnificent. Ka, you're the goddess Kamoshe, another emanation of compassion. Ga, how can there be so many emanations? So at that moment, then the world itself becomes this embodiment. Cha, and you're surrounded by the host of the karma dakinis, whooping and clamoring. Cha, the fierce goddess emanates in so many infinite forms. Ja, with the first portion of this potion. Huh? Again, this is the alchemical creating of the alchemical potions. We have similar things in the West. Na, this whole area is filled with the light of the moon. This very soft light, huh? Permeates our bodies. And then it says, you emanate like the powerfully moving planet Venus. In this way, please establish all mother sentient beings on the path of enlightenment, destroying crude behavior like black magic and curses, And please bestow the sublime empowerment of the final stage of deathless awareness. And please release us into the unbound, open spaciousness of the Divine Mother. Vajrasamayatisa Hung Soha. Hung, from this unborn, completely pure Dharmadhatu, miraculous forms arise, and they manifest in every possible way. O Wisdom Dakini, protector of all beings, Vajravahari, stainless place, spacious illumination, primordial Guru. They're equating all these now as the Guru, huh? Self-revelation. I embrace you as my own self, having never, ever been separated apart from you, ever, never. Chema, because of not recognizing that thought-free, self-arising consciousness is the Dharmakaya. Chema, because of not recognizing, experiencing that the thought-free, self-arising awareness is the Dharmakaya, just what we're experiencing now. Oh Mother, due to thoughts, I become so fixated on my own self. I am freed by embracing the Mother, the Dharmakaya, as myself. Ahama. That embracing. There's an activity to this drama. Because of not experiencing that all desires are self-originating and self-arising. So everything is manifesting and arising. And that thoughts and desires are self-liberated as they arise. That all thoughts, everything is liberated in its very manifestation. My experience is murky and bewildered. I embrace the Mother, Sambhogakaya, as my own awareness, this archetypical dimension. And because of not experiencing this change of thoughts and movements of my mind, that they're self-liberated in all their variety, huh? Even at this moment, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm experiencing, whatever I'm feeling, whatever is happening, is being liberated by the very manifestation through me. I keep getting lost in thoughts, lost, possessed, fixatedness. And I embrace the Mother as the Namanakaya, as flesh. And because of not recognizing or experiencing that this effortless, spontaneous, complete awareness is beyond all exertion and striving, I suffer unnecessarily trying to attain what is completely given. I suffer trying to earn. Hirakini's laugh. I try to earn what is already given. I think it's an economic deal. And because I lack realization of what is, I have been caught up in the decision of yes and no, no and yes. I'm wrapped in ambivalence. And because of not experiencing that samsara and nirvana are in complete oneness, I create a split between myself and others, and between myself and the very being of my own beingness. Chema, that means alas. I embrace this mother, the wisdom Dakini, because of not experiencing the freedom from grasping at reference points and attributions is beyond the path. Meaning my grasping for markers, for reference points and attributions is beyond this pathless path. I seemingly progress in a fabricated way, which is actually no way at all. And because of not experiencing it, whatever happens is beyond arising and ceasing. I've been striving in practice. I've been striving, accepting and rejecting. And I did not realize, know, that this mother is groundless and rootless. Root, no root, open, unbound openness. I embrace the mother who's beyond hope and despair. And not recognizing, not experiencing that birth and death are beyond all fear. This self-liberation is what brings confidence. Nature is what benefits beings. All apparent existence, everything I see and experience, is the realm of the Dakinis. Movements of mind, memory, and awareness are all the state of primordial purity. And the form of the trauma is the powerful play of compassion, the play of consciousness. The mother is the great bliss, free from striving. All sentient beings have the Dharmakaya nature. How can we awaken without practicing meditation? By the power of the truth, may we all realize this ultimate meaning. May everyone attain and experience the state of the mother, who is the natural state of the great perfection. Pet, pet, pet. Ah, the unborn. Ah. in the Shaivite tradition, they speak about the upayas or methods of invocation. And one way is like through the chant. We listened to a chant this morning that invokes these dimensions. So chanting is one way, one upaya. Then another upaya is like using texts or again mantras or the energy of the mantra and invoking that way. But the most direct way is simply doing it. Simply the power of invocation itself. Shambhavopaya. So let's focus on people we know and love this morning. Maybe having difficulties or not. And you enter this awareness dimension. You don't need imagery. You enter it as your own self. And you invoke that light, the energy, the qualities of awareness. Or if you feel those qualities in your own self, you extend those qualities. Jojo Rinpoche in his great text called Calling the Lama from Afar, and the Lama is the light of our own awareness, describes that people pray a lot by begging, sort of like, help me, man. Can you spare a dime or maybe $1? And he said that type of thing can be useful up to a point, but it's much more powerful and truer to take the light of awareness into your own hands, into your own being. And this whole experience of transmission, which is the great compassion, young Rinpoche describes it as often not used. In a very rationalistic culture, we shy away from the esoteric. We think we actually know what causality is. We think causality is ping pong balls from one person to another, and it has effects that way. Or apples falling from trees hitting us on the head. Very concrete, very mechanistic. And for most of us, the quantum understanding, which deconstructs those ideas of causality, goes far beyond that. With that, rub our hands together and place it on our hearts. It's about 8:30. You're welcome to stay and meditate. We'll put a chant back on. To 9 o'clock, there's also some refreshments upstairs. I'd like to thank everybody for coming this morning. Hope you had a great time. And I'll put a sheet of paper up there. And if you want a copy of this text, I'll try and get you a copy next week, okay? Or I think Mimi may be putting this text on the Facebook. We'll do it that way, and you can go to Facebook in the Washington Center, and you can get the text that way. But if you take these texts, you can have tons of texts, but it's useful to take a text and practice a text if you like it. But the text is not in the literal meaning. The text is the felt sense you have of the text. It's that felt sense that you're evoking. The felt sense is your awareness of the awareness there. So you're working basically with the felt sense. The actual words are incidental to the use. Or if you try to do it because you want to be a good person, it's not going to work either. It only works out of that spontaneity because you like it. With that, rub our hands again. Thank you guys, and we'll meet each other next week. And I think on the 29th, we're going to have a guest, Tom Walsh, come, whose poetry is quite wonderful and highly evocative, and he'll be using his poems as the talking point of the meditation. Thanks so much.